This is a blink, about 50 milliseconds. And that's roughly how long it takes someone visiting your website to form their opinion of your business. Sure, everything about your website, from its design to its loading speed, has a big impact. But one of the key factors in determining whether a potential client sticks around isn't what your website looks like, but what it says. It's not about clever phrasing and super polished messaging either. It often comes down to a simple question: is your website's content specific enough to make an impression? So let's back up. What does it mean to be specific? In short, it just means you get really precise with your language so you can cut through the digital noise. The more specific you are, the more your words are going to lure people in, almost like a zoom in effect. And why does it work? Well, the answer is surprisingly simple, and it comes down to basic internet behavior. Let's call it reading versus scanning. The average person actually reads your website only about 16% of the time. And this might sound crazy low, but according to research, web users aren't reading the way you imagine they would. If you curl up with a good book, that's reading. But on your website, people are quickly skimming around with a goal in mind. Maybe they're looking for a great house cleaning service. Maybe they need the name of an exterminator in their area. Or maybe they're browsing product reviews before they buy a stand mixer. Whatever they're doing, it all boils down to one thing: info gathering. And now that you know what your site visitors are looking for, that is a huge opportunity for you to lean into it and succeed where all your competition is very likely failing. So here are 3 ways you can get hyper-specific on your website and catch the attention of all those skimmers. Headlines are key when it comes to skimming a website for quick answers, and they're a great opportunity to put something relevant front and center. The best headlines are really specific to your business. So how do you write a great, super specific headline? It's probably going to be easiest here just to show you a few examples of what's bad and what's good. So don't write testimonials when you can write why people love our dog sitting service. Don't write about us when you can write why we're obsessed with keeping your pet healthy. Client testimonials is accurate but boring. Why people love our dog sitting service is vivid and descriptive. It tells people who you are. It hints at the enthusiasm that your clients have for your business. Yes, it's only the difference of 4 words, but that's the power of specificity. And being specific doesn't just liven up your headlines either. It can get more of your keywords into those all-important header tags for search engines too. Win-win. And if you're at all unsure how to get your headlines and, let's face it, every other part of your website dialed in just right, I am opening the doors to my signature program, the Profitable Website Launchpad, next week for 5 days only. So this is the only all-in-one training program to not only get your messaging perfect so that you can start converting more site visitors into paying clients, but I'll be virtually by your side every step of the way, all the way through actually creating your new site so it's live and online in just a few weeks with no code whatsoever. So just head over to wesmcdowell.com/launch to get all the details. Now back to it. If you've ever read a headline in a website like this one or this one, and your eyes just kind of glaze over, it's probably because you've heard it all before. And cliches are really interesting because theoretically, they should work. Every cliche started out as a good idea at one point. The first person to write that you have to read between the lines honestly had a pretty good metaphor on their hands. But here's the thing, cliches are, by definition, played out. Scanners ignore them, and readers just roll their eyes. So let's look at an example here, the Apple website. So Apple has a section on its website where it advertises the Apple Card. It's a credit card that you can get directly from the company. If Apple's copywriters had used a cliche, they might write a headline like, Apple Card, spend more, earn more. On the surface, that sounds like a pretty good headline. Everybody wants to earn more, but it's wording that we've all heard before from just about every credit card company that came before, rendering it practically invisible. But instead, Apple ditches the cliches and focuses on a really specific numerical benefit to using their card. Apple Card, get up to 3% daily cash back with every purchase. That's not a slogan, that's an actual promise. But, that's Apple, so how do overused cliches work themselves into your typical small business website? Ironically enough, it usually happens when you try to talk about what makes you so unique. How many times have you seen a business say something like, Customer satisfaction is our top priority. The problem is, that phrase has been overused to the point where it just doesn't carry much weight. Now compare that to, we guarantee a 1-hour response time for all customer support requests so that your issue is solved fast. That's better because it actually says something, right? Or what about a catering business who says, we go the extra mile? Compared to, beyond simply delivering delicious, professionally prepared meals, we work closely with our clients to tailor our menus to the dietary preferences and restrictions of their guests, ensuring everyone can enjoy their meal. Or my personal favorite, the digital marketing agency who claims, we're the leading provider. How about we rework that one to, we're known for our creative projects that boost our clients' website visitors by 35% on average within the first 3 months. And speaking of numbers, let's talk digits. A study found that in the world of news, using numbers increases story credibility. And this doesn't just apply to the news. So in other words, the simple act of dropping specific numbers will make the statement itself appear more credible. Let's take a look at some examples here. So at Dropbox, the main headline doesn't say, lots and lots of people love using Dropbox. It says, join over 700 million registered users who trust Dropbox. A big difference, now Dropbox sounds credible and like something we really want to have. At Zendesk, it scrolls through several hero images along with specific stats that highlight the statistical improvements that their customers regularly see. And it actually works even better if you don't round your numbers. So this is something that scientists call the precision bias. It just says that people tend to think that exact numbers are more legit or trustworthy than rounded up or rounded down ones. It's like when we see an exact number, we think, oh, that's way too specific to be a guess. They must have really crunched the numbers, makes it feel much more solid and believable. But what if you don't have specific numbers? Just start gathering them, sooner the better. Ask previous clients about their results. What tangible benefits can you take from them and quote on your website? Or just research statistics that are commonly found in your niche. And adding numbers doesn't just add specificity, it lends credibility to any claims that you make. And for all this specificity to do its job best, you actually need to put it all in the right order from top to bottom to make a really airtight case for your business. And luckily, it's a pretty worked out formula that you can totally steal. So I made this video showing you the perfect homepage, section by section, and what each needs to include to make sure you're not only remembered, but chosen out of all your competition. So click right here and I'll show you the whole thing.